Hello guys, and welcome back to the Newcrest speed build series. Today we are building a family home, and it is called Red Flats, as you see here on the title page video style. I don't know what to call it. The pre-video screen, I suppose. So if you watched my last video that was creating the family that lives in this house and owns this house, you will know that I had some issues with this video. With the video. So what I did was this house took me 5 hours to build. First of all, which is actually even longer than the last house that I do that is on the big lot. So if that says anything. So that 5 hours of video footage, for some reason, after I finished recording, it didn't save correctly through OBS, and so the video files got corrupted, which was a huge issue. And it took me about 3 days to finally be able to figure out how to get it to work. So what I eventually had to do, if you are ever having this issue, what I eventually had to do is I saved my files as MP4 files, because that's what my video editor uses, and it's just sort of, I don't know, it's easier for me to transfer it to a video where it can be edited if it's an MP4. So anyway, I always record an MP4. I never had an issue with it, but for some reason, and I was like, when I was looking up solutions to this, everyone was saying, don't use MP4, blah, blah, blah. So, what I had to do is I went in and took just the video file itself and just changed the MP4 section to FLV, and then I had to go into FLV player, and I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called that. Anyway, I had to go into that player and then use that player to convert it to an MP4. So it was sort of a struggle, and even then, my video editor didn't want to read the video correctly. I mean, it obviously loaded the video and everything, but it sort of stuttered and froze every few seconds after I got to a certain point in the video. So the beginning part would be nice and clean looking, and then after that it would just be really choppy to me. So what I had to do after that was then I had to go through and save it, before I did the narration, I had to go through and save it as an MP4, then reload that file into the movie maker again, and then record the narration as I am now. So this house has been quite a struggle, and I'll probably have to do that for the next house as well, because it just doesn't even though I've converted them to, even though I've converted these to the MP4 format, it still doesn't like to read them. So I'll probably have to do that with the next video. But now I'm prepared. Now I know. So anyway, that's the story behind this house. Other than that, it was just being a huge pain in the ass. So yeah, now we can actually talk about the video. I eventually decided to do this as a red themed house because I felt like we hadn't done red in a while, because, well, I don't like red, as I've said before, so I tend to just not use it. I just don't gravitate toward it, so I sort of have to catch myself and be like, alright, you should probably use red at some point, you know. So, just putting in some fountains here. This place is 3 stories. The third story, I guess the second floor, is more of a sort of loft area. It just has a master bedroom and then what eventually becomes the painting room, because the Sims who live in this house are, one of them, the father of the family is, he's a chef, and then the mother is an artist. So we'll put in a nice big barbecue back here, and nice entertaining space in the backyard, as well as a good kitchen and everything. So just going through, I was trying to keep, I tend to get bored with these the same old sort of, I don't know what I'm saying. The same old, what am I thinking? The same old pool decorations? I don't know. it just gets boring after a while for me. So anyway, going through and putting in all the fountains and everything, I think what happened there in the front was that I put in some fountains, and then I jumped into live mode to change the colors of the lights in the pool, and then when I came back, I realized that I needed to fix some of the fountains, so I re-added them, but then they weren't in sync with each other, and that was bothering me, so I fixed it. I had to go through and delete them all and put them all back in. So, anyway. I'm just making a sort of, like, garden balcony here. I really kind of like this, especially since it's, like, it's a little balcony area where you can't actually go out onto it, so that's why I wanted to put the, I just deleted something. Okay. I was just watching. That's why I decided to put that little garden area in there. So, going through and making a little design, you guys can kind of see it, but I eventually, yeah, here we go. I go back through and put little tiny lights everywhere in it. So, yeah, this is really kind of, I really like this idea, and it was actually my boyfriend who was like, you can't tell what the design is. I was like, fine, I'll do this. So, those are red lights, they glow red, all interesting and everything, so I think it looks nice. Anyway, I don't know what I'm still doing in, like, nighttime mode, but whatever video, whatever myself, whatever you're doing. I finally realized it, I think. So, going through and making some window wells right now. That's what we're just doing. Because this house does have a basement, and that is where the twins eventually live. They get the whole basement to themselves. Lucky them. That's kind of how it was when I was a kid. My sister and I eventually got moved into the basement. We had to do a bunch of construction on our house first, but we eventually got moved into the basement, got our own rooms and everything. We used to share a room. That was rough. So we got our own bedrooms and bathrooms in the basement. Well, bathroom in the basement, so it was nice. Pretty nice. So, yeah. Finally getting to the outside here. We're just doing a ton of landscaping. Honestly, there's not too much landscaping I do. I don't think I do too much more because I did do, like, fountains and stuff, so that sort of helps take up outside space and make it look interesting, that I don't have to do all landscaping, you know. Finally getting into getting our barbecue out here, so, I really wanted to go with that red theme, apparently. But I think it looks good in the end. It does look good in the end. Just noticed we did add a trash can out there. Good for me. Sometimes I forget. That's a good thing. Good thing I remembered. So yeah, it looks like this is one of the houses. I always say this, or I always do like the inside and then the outside, but recently as I'm watching these videos, it looks like I do the outside first more often than I do the inside. But yeah. So for me, the video is getting a little bit choppy looking, so hopefully that's not an issue for you guys. It's not too bad. It's not really too bad. But so we're finally getting into the inside here. I wanted to start with the kitchen because he is a chef, so I wanted to make it a nice big kitchen. And I eventually struggle with the kitchen a little bit because I don't know what I'm going to start trying to do this, but I eventually tried to, like, put these sort of floating shelves behind the main counter area that's got, like, the stove and stuff. Yeah. So I eventually try and put in these, like, floating shelves sort of things. Here we go. And it is just really, really difficult and annoying to try and do this. Like, I feel like I saw this done, not in The Sims, but on, like, what am I thinking, like HGTV or something like that. They were doing a house, and they had those, like, floating shelves so that it was sort of, like, still sort of an open concept area, but, like, you still had shelving and stuff to put there, and right then I was trying to get the little decorations to the right height so that I could set them on, like, the half wall, because I thought that would be cool, but nope, didn't want to work with that idea either, so, yeah, that was, this kitchen is not what all I had envisioned it to be, but it is the best that I could get done, with The Sims as it is now, so, yes. I kind of wanted to go with an industrial theme in this house, so that's why everything's, like, the floors are cement, the walls are brick, I did use like that. Oh, I really like the like sort of whitewashed brick one. I don't know. I think it's the name has something to do with stucco. I'm not really sure, but or plaster maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, I really like that, and I used it in this video, in this build. So yeah, you'll see it. Like it's like the brick effect, but it's sort of like somebody painted over it or something. I don't know. Like painted over it with white or tried to cover it up or something. I don't know. I really like that wall paint though. It's my favorite one. Probably my favorite wall paint. So just going through, adding a bunch of just random miscellaneous skill building stuff. I added a computer in this house. I added a piano because I thought that was like the perfect place for a piano. I will say we're doing the teen's bedroom now, and as you can see, I have it sort of shoved in the corner there. But technically, he's supposed to be able to get around it, to get onto either side. If there's only even if there's only half a grid square, it's still supposed to work. But because I put the mirror in the corner, he can't actually get over to the other side. So take it as you will. You can decide to delete the mirror and resave this house if you want to use it a lot, and if you don't want to deal with that. But, I mean, the bed's still totally functional. He just can't get to that side. He just uses the other side. No big deal. So, going through and doing the art sort of area, like I said, I did add, like, I gave these Sims careers and skills. So she had all of the artist skill rewards, or career rewards, so I tried to use all of those. Actually, I think I did use them all. Honestly, I think I did. So yeah, if you put them, you should be able to download this house no problem, but if you have any issues, I'm thinking I might do a sort of tutorial video of how to place all of these lots and everything, since I can't make, what I really wanted to do, I think I mentioned this before, but what I really wanted to do was make a mod for it so that you could just download, the mod, and then Newcrest would always be filled with these lots. Like, it would never be the empty Newcrest as long as you had the mod installed. I know that we have empty world mods that do that, and so that's really what I wanted to do with this. That was the idea behind it, other than just I wanted to fill Newcrest. But, so, I mean, I couldn't figure out how to do it. I'm not a modder myself. I couldn't find anybody that knew how to do it. But, I mean, if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, I totally know how to do that, then please tell me. I would be more than happy to work with you, give you credit, everything. I would just really like people to be able to, you know, people that don't use Newcrest to build and stuff all the time, I would really like, you know, those sort of people to be able to download a mod like this. And for future people to be able to, for future simmers to be able to create their own, you know, their own versions of Newcrest for people to download and just have in their game. So, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be an issue if we had a create a world tool, EA, you know, but we won't get into that. But anyway, we are just decorating the twins' rooms now. I think we are almost done, actually. We are almost finished. I think this bathroom is the last thing we furnished, so they get this whole, like, entertainment space downstairs. And I kind of assumed that, like, the teenager would sort of go down there as well, you know, take his dates down there or something. You never know what teenagers do. Teenagers. So, just going through and doing some lighting, it looks like, before we finish up here. That is a pool there, and you can see into the pool from the basement space, so I love that picture of the backyard. And just going through and getting some nice screenshots here. I took a lot of screenshots in this house. That was the basement. Here's the bedrooms for the twins. And I really like how this house turned out. I really do. I quite enjoy it. I think it turned out pretty well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy playing this family, having them in your neighborhood and all of that. I sort of became friends with them in my Legacy Challenge that I was playing in this neighborhood, in this Newcrest version, I guess. But anyway, jumping into our floor plans here, going into the basement in a second. And that is it for this video, guys. We have one more video left in the series, and that will be out tomorrow, so thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.